Hello, you. Have I ever told you about when I was in high school? And there were a couple of ladies that I knew, and they were amazing. And they used to invite my friends and I over for tea parties. And they were the most wonderful tea parties with amazing food and beautifully set table. We felt so special every time that we got invited to come. It was something that made such an impression on me as I was young that I've done it for years, invited people over for tea. And my favorite part is when people come for the first time, because then what I get to do is set the table as beautifully as I can with flowers and candles and little baby spoons and sugar cubes and bake as many wonderful things as I can. Because the best part for me, my favorite part of the whole thing, is when someone walks in the door for the very first time and they see that table and they go, oh, because it's written all over their face. They're thinking, somebody thought I was worth the effort. And I think that's a really important thing to think about. How often do we want to feel like we're worth the effort? Last time we talked about purpose. Today I want to talk a little bit about mattering. You see, mattering and having purpose are two different things. You can serve a purpose, you can be used by someone for a purpose, and still not feel like you matter. Mattering is that part of us that wants our opinions to count, that we want people to respect us, that we want them to understand our feelings, or at least acknowledge and accept our feelings. We want who we are, I want who I am to matter. And it's something that we see this all over the world because it's really the source of all of our human rights activism and fighting for equality and fighting for freedom, because we want to say every single one of us matters. We're important. We're worth the effort to someone. It's that same part of us that wants to say, even when I've been awful and I've behaved badly, even when I'm a jerk, will you take me back? We want to know that we're important enough to someone that even when we're at our worst, that we still matter to them. I think a lot of times we fill our lives with a whole lot of things to drown out the fact that sometimes we feel like we're not important enough, or that we don't matter to people. And so I think it's a very important concept to think about, because as we look at, is there more than just us, or is there nothing but us? We have to think of the question, if we do matter, where does that value come from? If we're more than just what we accomplish, if we're more than just what we do, if we're more than just the purpose that we serve, where does that inherent value come from? Because at the end of the day, it's important to each one of us that we feel like we matter. Do you feel like you matter? Do you do anything to make the people around you feel like they're worth the effort, or that they matter? As we're looking towards our clues to help us find the answer to the big mystery, I think this is a really important one, because it is something that we see in every area of our lives. We see it in the way we treat one another. We see it in the way that our feelings get bruised. We see it in the way that we bruise other people's feelings. Do you matter? Do you feel like you matter? Everything in me wants to shout, of course you do, my darling, of course you do. But that's not the answer to our big mystery, but it's a clue. And it's a clue that we have to consider in light of, is there something more, or is there just what we see and nothing more? So, something to think about this weekend. Why is it important that we feel that we matter? And where does the mattering come from? That's all I got today, my darling. Have a wonderful weekend. You are worth the effort. And I will look forward to seeing you on Monday. Take care.